What's going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the WNBA Layup session for Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. If you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Let me know your WNBA picks in the comment section below. If you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz.com by clicking the Experts tab at the top of the page. Going to have my MLB pickoff play on the board. It's my best baseball play. Going to have a 5-pack from Major League Baseball and a 3-pack from the WNBA. So if you're looking to bet the WNBA, you're going to get my thoughts and opinions on the day's games. But if you want to know which ones I like the absolute best, head to Pickdawgz. Use the promo code PICK at checkout, get 15%. We're going to have NFL preseason starting up this week as well. So make sure that you jump on something, even if it's a long-term pass. Christmas in July may be over, but the long-term pass is definitely a great way to go. Whether you go with me or you pair me up with Jay. Hopefully we're going to be back doing the layup session together soon. We just got to sort of get schedules aligned, but still want to make sure that you guys had something for this 5-game card. So we're going to be breaking down the action. Definitely want to put you guys on some winners. If you haven't hit that subscribe button already, though, please make sure you do so. We're aiming for our next goal, which is a million subscribers. So thankful we already hit 250K, and we appreciate each and every one of you that's helped us get there. But let's not wait any longer to make some money in the dub on Sunday. I said 5-game card. Some spots and situations we can break down. You guys know the drill. You ready? I'm ready. Let's get into it. First game from Sunday's card takes us to the Mohegan Sun Arena, where the New York Liberty take on the Connecticut Sun. It's a rematch. These two teams just met 2 days ago, and it was an upset win for the Connecticut Sun, 78-62. And the Sun don't win many back-to-back games. I mean, let's face it. And this is a quick revenge spot for the Liberty. But we have to face the facts, is that this Liberty team just is not the same right now. Without Brianna Stewart, there's no timetable for her return. Yes, they got Jonquel Jones back. Yes, they still have Sabrina Ionescu. There's still some solid depth pieces there, like Natasha Cloud, Kennedy Burke, Febick, Emma Mieseman just joined. She's a former Finals MVP. But again, it has not stopped the Liberty from losing 4 straight. They lost in an upset to the Sparks at home. Lost by double digits in Dallas. They lost at Minnesota, okay, but then, like I said, the blowout loss to Connecticut. This is a Connecticut team that has actually been very feisty as a double-digit underdog this season. They usually catch double digits in a lot of games. The Storm was the only team they haven't covered double digits against in the last almost month. And they're not only covering games, they've been winning a couple as well. They beat the Valkyries at home in a blowout, won against the Liberty, like I said. So I'm going to take a shot here with the Connecticut Sun plus the 11.5 points. I just think, like I said, it's going to be, I think, a closer game. Even if the Liberty get their revenge here, I could see the Sun at least sneaking in the back door for the cover here. So I'm going to take Connecticut plus the points. Next, we had the Climate Pledge Arena for this matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Seattle Storm. And, these two teams are very similar, across the board. Both are about 4 or 5 games above 500. Only 1 win separates these two teams in the overall standings. Both have an 8-6 record on the road. The Fever have 1 win more than the Storm with their home record. Otherwise, these two teams would be identical, both 16-12 and both 8-6 home and away. But the thing for me here is that the Fever are coming in winners of 4 in a row. Yeah, they've had a lot of travel. They've alternated home games and road games over the last 5. But this is still a Seattle team that is playing inconsistent basketball. They're less than 48 hours removed from playing a double overtime game against the Los Angeles Sparks. And I'm still impressed with the Fever and their resolve and their depth without Caitlin Clark. I mean, I have to think that if you have Caitlin Clark always the will she, won't she game going into every game, even if these Fever players know, behind the scenes whether they can lean one way or another if she's going to play or not, it takes a bit of the stress off of the situation. If okay, Caitlin's not playing. We can just go out. We know what we have to do. We don't have to worry if we're going to be able to have her in the lineup or not. We have to go out and do our jobs regardless. And I think the Fever go out to this one and know that. Like I said, I think that the Storm are a solid team, but at the end of the day, I want the free bucket with the team playing the better basketball. So I'm going to take the Fever here, plus the 2.5 points. Now we head to the Gateway Center Arena as the Washington Mystics pay a visit to the Atlanta Dream. And, I went back and forth on this game a little bit, but I think I finally landed on the under in this one. I know there's been some higher scoring games, even a one sided game between these two teams this season. However, I'm going to the under because when you look at the numbers all season, and even in the month of July up until now, these are two teams that have been in the upper half of the league, like I said, all season long, but also with last month in terms of defensive efficiency. These are two teams that just can play some really solid defense. The Mystics have been inconsistent offensively, to put it nicely. And while the Dream have been able to win games and put up some points as of late, not only are they missing Ryan Howard for this game, but they're missing Brittany Griner as well. And that could take away a bit of their interior presence on the offensive end of the floor. For me, this just feels like a game where it's the first to 80 wins. I think it's just going to be a bit of a lower scoring duel here. I think it's going to finish in the high 140s, low 150s. So not my favorite game on the board, but I'll lean towards the under 157.5 in this one. Now we head to the T-Mobile Arena for a matchup between the Golden State Valkyries and the Las Vegas Aces. The Aces coming in on a back-to-back after getting their teeth kicked in Saturday's matchup, 111 to 58 at the hands of the Minnesota Lynx. Now, you can look at that one of two ways. You can look at it as, the Aces, yeah, they got their butts kicked by the Lynx, and Asia Wilson only played 22 minutes. Jackie Young played 19. Chelsea Gray had 21. Even Alyssa Smith had 17. It saved, a lot of the minutes for the Aces. You got the bench a lot of work, and, they should come in a little bit more rested than a normal back-to-back spot. I'm looking at it as the Aces just don't have it. And, the Aces, I don't think, have had it this season. They've been, for me, the most underwhelming team in the WNBA this season. I think they've taken that title over from the Los Angeles Sparks, even though they beat the Sparks a couple of games ago. But it's just every time you think the Aces are going to show up and finally be that team that you think they're supposed to be and that they were expected to be coming into the season, they go out and put up another dud. The Valkyries are banged up. They've got Xander Lassini and Tiffany Hayes listed as questionable for this game. They're already missing Kayla Thornton. But I still think that the Valkyries, who, yeah, they beat the Sky, and, maybe it says more about the Sky and what they can and can't do, without people like Ariel Atkins in the lineup and, Angel Reese being up and down. But the Valks have been a very profitable underdog this season. I get that a lot of it has come at home, but I still think that even on the road, I think 8's just too many that I don't want to lay with the Las Vegas Aces. So I'm going to take the Valkyries here plus the 8 points in this one. Last game on Sunday's card takes us to the Wintrust Arena, where the Phoenix Mercury take on the Chicago Sky. And two struggling teams right now. But the problem for me with the Chicago Sky and why they're catching so many points at home is that they're still banged up. There's no Angel Reese, no Ariel Atkins, Haley Van Lith. She's listed as questionable for this game. Michaela Onyenwere, she's back. It looks like, or at least it looks like she's questionable for this game, I should say. But the problem for me there is that, still the two key pieces for me, Angel Reese, Ariel Atkins, both still listed as out. And the Mercury are as healthy as they've been all season. And they've been like this for a few games. So it's a little bit odd that the Mercury haven't really been able to put it all together. But the thing is that I think that was more a product of A, being on an extended road trip, and B, your first couple games were against Minnesota and Atlanta, two teams I would definitely consider, at least the Lynx for sure, the number one team in my opinion in the WNBA. But the Dream are still, I would say, a top 4, top 5 team in the WNBA. So getting that cohesion back in real time can still be a little bit tricky. And, sometimes it's like we always talk about when, a star athlete misses a bunch of games, getting them integrated back in the lineup. Sometimes they're a little bit slow to get it back. And then, eventually they sort of put it all together and it's just sort of the chemistry's back. Well, the Mercury had gotten used to always having someone missing, whether that was Satu Sabali, whether it was Alyssa Thomas, whether it was Clea Copper. But now, they've all been together and you kind of got to get that cohesion back. Well, there's no other team that you'd want to do that against in the Chicago Sky when they've been without Angel Reese and Ariel Atkins. Some of the results have been really ugly. We're talking, 103-86 on the road against the Mystics, 93-78 at home against the Fever, 95-57 at home against the Storm. Even the game going into the All-Star break, 86-49 against the Atlanta Dream. It is just ugly. The Phoenix Mercury, from a talent perspective, for me, at least in their starting lineup, are probably a top 4 team in the WNBA. I like this mix of Sabali, Thomas, and Copper. You're starting to get the depth pieces chipping in as well. For me, it's Mercury or nothing in this one because, like I said, there's just no back in the sky without Ariel Atkins or Angel Reese. So it's a big number to lay on the road with a team that's lost 5 of 6, but I think the number is big for a reason. I'm going to lay it with the Mercury here. That's it. That's all the WNBA action for Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. Again, if you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Let me know your WNBA picks in the comment section below. If you're looking for my best bets, you can head to Pickdawgz Premium. While you're Pickdawgz, check out our betting tools. They're 100% free. They are the best betting tools in the business and tools that you want to make sure that you have in your back pocket when you're making your best bets for the day's action. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys soon.